Cybercast website.
All right, guys, welcome to Cybercast Ep95, the Transformers Video Podcast. My name is Josh, also known as G1 Hextron, and you can find me, G1 Hextron, on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, YouTube, and my Facebook page is the G1 Hextron. Everything we're taking a look at today is going to be found on that Facebook page. I am joined with my co-host, Jaim, also known as Victory Saber 77. He's going to shout his stuff out and also tell you about a couple of shows we have going on.
Yeah, I am Victory Saber 77. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube, and we do have a couple of shows coming up after the Cybercast at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time is the Aftercast, where we just talk about anything and everything Transformers and other, collectible or other topics, whether it's movies, toys, TV, comics. We also have an eBay show, which airs once a month, and the latest episode just aired last week. It's in video form on G1 Hextron's channel, but it is once a month, 10 a.m. on Thursday. So check for that. But we do have a couple of announcements. We have Bold Forms. As you know, they are the third party that's making Lone Wolf. That's gone into pre-order on Big Bad Toys and TF Source. They're going to be on probably in the next couple of weeks just because the Chinese New Year is going on right now. So they are going to be on the show. But we do have a special guest that will probably be on next week. It's Susan Blue, if you're not familiar with her. I don't know what's your problem because she's a wonderful voice actress in the Transformers world, voice director also, but she is a voice of RC and other characters. So she most likely will be on next week as our guest. And a little bit of news, we have a new Alien movie in the works. The director is Neil Blomkamp, who did the directing for District 9, Elysium, and the new movie that's coming out, Chappie. So not sure if it's going to be a sequel to either Prometheus that came out by Ridley Scott, or it's going to be connected to the previous Sigourney Weaver movies. So this we'll let you guys know once we get a little more information. But I think that's really cool. We haven't had a new Alien movie for a while now, so pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, and we'll try to always bring you guys, like we used to always tell you about new releases and video games, stuff like that. You guys seem to not really like that, so we quit doing it. And always want to evolve the show and make it better and what's more entertaining for you guys. And I think we got a pretty good mix right now. But whenever we come across the Daredevil stuff or the Deadpool or Alien on this or Mad Max like we did a couple of weeks ago, then we'll bring that information to you guys. Any of the stuff that I guess that we're into, we grew up in the 80s, so if you're kind of a fan of that stuff and films of that kind of genre and I guess nerdy films and stuff like that, we're going to bring that to your attention. Other than that, Chappie I think opens today, right?
Oh, it did? Oh.
All right, I think it is today. That's one movie that I'm definitely going to go see. It's got a robot in it. The previews showed, He-Man, and I'm a really big fan of District 9. I like that. Elysium, it was all right, wasn't one of my favorites, but I really did like District 9.
Yeah.
So that's why I think, this Alien movie's got some promise to it. I wasn't a big fan of the AVP stuff and, Predators. I thought it was all right,
Yeah.
It was all right for what it was. Hopefully it is done, and obviously it's going to be done in his style, so that'll be something awesome. But hopefully it's not too dark. That's the one thing that I kind of have a problem with the Alien movies is it's so dark that I can't see anything, half the time.
Yeah.
So
that's what I hated about Alien vs. Predator Requiem, the second one. It was just too much going on with the rain and it just being so damn dark. Yeah.
All right, so do we have anything as far as opening rant? If you want to bring up the magazine, you can. We can find out if other people are having this problem, because if it is a wide-known problem, then it kind of needs to be addressed.
Sure.
Not that you're already addressing it, but we'll try not to bash too hard here. But it needs to be brought up. I don't know if you have that.
Yeah, I can bring it up. So I just finally got my issue 61 of the Transformers Collectors Club. So got the nice new picture of the Legends class Warpath on there, and you got some really, the story in here. I do like. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a collector's magazine, and being a collector, I really wish that it would come in a collecting manner. Like it's just beat up. My whole magazine is beat up. It was glued to the envelope when it was sealed, and it's just trashed. And I've already talked to the Collectors Club about it, but it's just like you want us to buy into your subscription. I mean, to get this nice little free figure down here, which is Lao Convoy, which is awesome. But I mean, I wish that it wasn't bent. The corners are curling. I have pieces missing off the cover. I just wish that it was a little bit better. That's all. And plus, if I have to replace this on my own, this is $10 on their website, and I just think that's ridiculous to have to deal with that.
And who's to say that that one's not going to come back? The exact same way. One thing that they could solve on the gluing on the side there is if they like whenever you go into Hastings and like all comics, if you go to a comic book store, they've got that little plastic slip that you put in there. Putting that and maybe even that little card that the little white card they have in the back to try to keep it straight.
The backboard.
Just something like that. That's going to keep that from that glue from sealing it up in the envelope. That'll solve that problem. Probably not all the creases, but because we know that these mailbox people, I mean, they'll try to cram some stuff in there. But at least that little thing, that could help with one of those problems.
Yeah, I swear. I mean, yes, I get like the postman can be kind of aggressive with his delivery methods, but this looks like they found like, oh shoot, we need to send out a copy. I think we had one in the trash can. Let's grab it and throw it in an envelope and send it out. That's how it looks to me, and it's just like, come on. I usually don't care if there's creases in there or not, but this was just kind of horrible.
If you guys have the same issue, let us know. I think James already emailed them, like you said, and we'll see what they have to say to him, and we'll kind of get back to you, I guess, or he can let you guys know on his Twitter or something. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the Transformer news. We have a lot to cover for you guys today. We do have want to recap some of the stuff that we saw at Toy Fair just because we have some official images now. We also have some Masterpiece news. We also have third party and some add-on stuff. And we do have one topic for you guys. Obviously, if you want to hear more than just discussion on that one topic, if you have any questions or things that you want us to talk about, make sure that you type out question in caps at the very beginning and then type it out in the chat. That way that it's easy for James to identify, and then we'll get into those. If it's a question that needs to be answered kind of right now because it pertains to what we're looking at, James, he'll address that during the show. All right, so first thing that we're going to get into is the Hasbro stuff, and kind of going from Legends, Deluxe, Leaders, and so on. First one we got is Viper. And this is one that we were kind of excited about. These are the official images, like I said before, or kind of the stock photos for it, just because the ones that they had on display at Toy Fair were actually painted up. And that's also the reason why you didn't see the Galvatron head for Cyclonus. But oh, by the way, I got a Power Glide today.
Awesome.
Pretty happy about that. Yeah, I watched your review on it. I was a little jealous just because he was the one that I didn't have, and was able to find it today. They had Wind Charger there too, but did not want to pick him up. I don't even like that tailgate either. It's a bad mold.
Yeah, I didn't pick up Wind Charger either. It's not bad. I do like this rendition. I like the fact that it's connecting to G.I. Joe world with being the Cobra Rattler there. Really cool.
I kind of hope that they do some more things like this, where they do kind of the G.I. Joe and Transformer crossover with these guys. Obviously, keep them Transformers, but like I was even looking at one of the new guys for the Protectobots, kind of like that little armored up tank thing. Like if they wanted to make that, forgot. It was the Tiger something, and was it Tiger Force?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like a little armored vehicle, for them. I could see that being kind of repainted for that. Obviously, some other stuff in there. I think they could get pretty creative, and if they wanted to kind of just come out with their own, like little, GI Joe versus Cobra, kind of like little mini line within Transformers, I think that would be a lot of fun. And that would also give the G.I. Joe fans, something to kind of collect. And a lot of us that grew up in the 80s, if we were fans of Transformers, more than likely we had G.I. Joes at the same time. Same, with He-Man and, Thundercats and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I'm hoping the insignia looks a little better. That's on the chest. It's kind of looks like it's worn down. Unless it's supposed to look that way, I thought it would be a little cleaner looking, but...
Yeah, I think it probably will. That looks like it's a sticker. So it's, this is, the stock photo, but it's probably not, this is not final. So where this will probably be tamper-graphed on, this looks like it was just a sticker applied here.
But he does look good. Yeah.
Oh, and something that we pointed out last week is the pilot of the Rattler, which is what this kind of represents here. The face, as you see, is different from Power Glide's. It's the Wild Weasel face, which I think that is awesome. That just, if you didn't like it already, that kind of puts it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I wanted to start off with that guy because I wanted to start off with something positive. Now we kind of get to this guy. I'm not happy with this, and when I heard we were getting a Warpath, I was excited. And I can't even say that I'm really a big fan of the tank either, but the fact that we don't have the cannon coming out of the chest, yeah, that's a huge letdown. That's one of those things that whenever you see that, you automatically think Warpath.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this could have been, there's several different, characters that use tanks out there that they could have done instead of Warpath, but I guess it's because they're trying to come out with all these like little mini bots that's why they did it. But he really deserved kind of his own mold. And if most people, they have the Generations Deluxe figure, dude,
yeah.
that thing is, I'm not saying it's masterpiece quality, but as far as the way it looks, I could easily put that as a smaller figure on my masterpiece shelf next to Bumblebee. I think that figure's that good. Where this one, I think it's a pass for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, we got a great, mini bot line in the Legends class with Swerve, and then even being redecoed, slightly retooled into Gears, Power Glide, Cosmos, and then you get something like this, like what they did with Tailgate into Cliff Jumper, and this is the former Megatron, mold that's now being just slightly retooled into Warpath. I wish that they would have just made a new mold for this guy. But, I guess it is what it is. I'm glad I have the Generations version. That's going to be my Warpath. I'll probably pass on this. I hope that if they do, like, Sea Spray next, he'll be a new mold, which will be fantastic. But, yeah, just don't like it.
Even with those, I mean, I'm looking at the tank mode, and the first thing that I look at are those fists, sitting right there in the front, too. So yeah. All right, moving on, and this is going to be Groove. Now we can get a pretty good look at him and see what he's supposed to look like for your protective bots. He can also be utilized as the chess piece for Defensor, if you'd like, just because Rook took his spot. Rook is the one that I was thinking of that could be a little tiger, whatever, from G.I. Joe. But
okay.
That motorcycle mode doesn't look too bad. It's whenever I start looking at this.
Yeah. He looks like a satyr, half goat, half human being looking.
I think this is a pass for me too. As much as I'd like to have it, just because this one's actually Groove, and you kind of want all those key characters there. And I also got to think, they've done this already with the Stunnicons and also the aerial bots, to where it's like, all right, well, here's an Alpha Bravo and here's an off-road. And then as we are, buying those up, then they're like, all right, so we're finally going to come out with, who was the other one? Was it Slingshot and Wild Rider? And you're like, oh, well, those are the ones that I want. If if I kind of knew that I was going to get those, then I wouldn't have bought these other ones. Do you think Takara might do that as well? Especially since they're wanting to come out with those guys originally. The original 5. They're not even going the Alpha Bravo or the off-road route. They're just, hey, we're coming out with the 5 people that are supposed to be there. They'll have some jumbo motorcycle.
Probably not. Just because if they did, then they would just probably take that Rook vehicle or mold and redeco it and try and make it look as close to Grooves as possible. I don't think Takara is going to come out with its own mold. They're just going to take an existing Hasbro mold, but third party, could come in and decide, you know what, we'll give you that Grooves. Like they were going to do, there was a third party that was going to give us a Slingshot, and I'm sure they're not doing that now because with Hasbro announcing that we're getting one.
Yeah, haven't heard anything about that lately,
So, but I'll probably end up picking up this guy. I mean, it's Grooves, why not? He's part of the team. I'd rather pick up this guy than Warpath, I'll tell you that much. So, and I do like his vehicle mode. I do like that. And
oh yeah, that doesn't look bad. That's that, however.
Yeah, I'll just keep him in vehicle mode.
Well, that's pretty bad.
It's something for Defensor to play with.
All right, I got a few RID things for you. This is one that I don't think we looked at last week. I think they started being kind of revealed after the show was already over. But you're going to get an RID Jazz.
Ooh. Which is what? A retooled version of Bumblebee?
Is it?
That's what the vehicle looks like. I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't really paid much attention to this.
To be honest, it could be. There's quite a bit of paint on there, but this is a stock photo, so that doesn't mean that they're gonna have all this paint that you see on here. It's subject to change. Whenever they're like, hey, this is kind of the way we want it to be. Then we start looking at, oh, we've kind of gone over our budget, so we might need to cut here. So that's usually how things go.
Yeah. Then comes Takara, and then they'll give it to us.
Yeah. But it could be, possibly, so just putting that out there. But what do you think?
It doesn't look too bad. It's just, for me right now, I want to watch the series and see if that does anything for me. As far as the toys themselves, I haven't touched them. I pass on them. I kind of just overlook them when I see them in the toy aisles, like at Target or Toys R Us. But I know for a fact if I start watching the show, I may want to pick up some key characters. Maybe. We'll see.
Little Victory doesn't grab them while you're looking at something else and throw them in the cart. That hasn't happened. So
No,
he's
not yet.
Need the cartoon. He's gonna need the cartoon to be like, okay, now I want that.
Right. No, my daughter does though. When we go up and down the toy aisle, when I have her in the cart, she just starts grabbing stuff I'm not looking at. If I'm not paying attention to her, just random stuff. So I'll find Power Rangers, wrestling. I found those weird Star Wars Command things in there.
All those things? Oh man, I thought she'd have better taste. But...
Yeah, I thought so too, but it's just whatever she's in arm's reach.
All right, so now we kind of get a look at Sideswipe here. And you can kind of see, kind of his Warrior Deluxe kind of, class look, and not that, one step that a lot of people thought was going to, kind of be it. But, this looks better than what we kind of thought that he was going to look like. And,
yeah, I like the vehicle mode.
Yeah, vehicle mode looks really cool. It reminds me of 80s. It just has that kind of, that squared boxiness to it.
Miami Vice.
The robot mode doesn't look too bad, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Now, what is with, maybe I don't have a clue, but what's with all, the melee weapons and swords and close combat weapons? They're not doing guns. They're doing swords and lances. I mean, that's what Jazz had.
Uh, I don't know. You know what?
It's not like a night theme, is it, or something like
You know,
that?
I don't know, but you know, I guess it's kind of better than, you know, whenever like we watched cartoons in the 80s and you'd watch G.I. Joe and there'd be G.I. Joe and Cobra, and whenever you saw that they were on opposite ends, and then you saw like the, you know, the red, you know, lasers and the blue lasers, and it's just going crazy, and someone could run through there and no one's ever getting tagged. Like
Yeah.
they have the worst aim out there, you know. So maybe to kind of make it a little bit more realistic, you know, they're, you know, at least can hit each other with melee weapons and stuff like that.
Hmm. All right. Cool.
Or maybe they don't really want guns, you know, in a like a younger kid show or something. I have no idea.
Oh, come on. It's like the A-Team. A-Team, we had tons of guns. No one ever got hurt, but it was great.
All right, so getting a look at some of the in-hand images of Combined Wars Breakdown.
Cool. And the comic book's back. I like that.
Yeah. What do you think about this? I was hoping it'd be a little bit better, but I mean, I can live with it.
Yeah, I can live with it too. I mean, I don't mind. Is it as strong as some of the other ones as far as individual robot mode? No. But
I like Dragstrip so much better the way he looks as far as robot mode.
yeah. But this isn't bad. Will we get a G2?
I do want one. Now, the car modes on these guys are superb. The only thing I don't like is that 15 racing, because I have no idea what that means.
I don't either.
It's like, you know, whenever like the, you know, the Hasbro guys, whenever they name some of these characters things, I always, in my head, like Hasbro has like this room and it just has numbers and names and words on the floor. They're like, all right, we need to put something on the front of this windshield. They throw 2 blades of grass in the air and landed on 15 and racing, and they're like, put that on the front, you know, because I have no idea where it came from, but it does look nice. Other than that, let me see if I can scrape it off. I have no idea, but
I'm sure the Takar version will omit that. Because they're probably one and the same thing. Why is that on there? Yeah, let's take it off.
face sculpts on these guys, every one of them looks fantastic, so I had no doubts there. Right, and the other one, Dead End. This is my favorite character as far as the Stunticons go. Also, kind of see that they went with the faceplate and visor, even though it was kind of different in G1 cartoon, or at least in some of the episodes.
Yeah, it looks good.
Only negative I really have with him, I like the overall body better than Breakdown, is this is the one where his feet are very small, or where his toes will be, but again, not that big of a deal. That face does look pretty cool. That car mode is awesome looking, and now that we're seeing these that they're the in-hand, so we know that these are final, and that car mode is awesome looking.
Yeah, it just seems like
rims.
It's a reversed from the aerial bots. I mean, the aerial bots look really good as their individual robots. Their vehicle modes, but the Stunticons here look really awesome in their vehicle modes. Robot modes are, could be a little hit and miss, but yeah, I do like the fact that their vehicle modes look fantastic.
So yeah, totally dig him. I like him a lot. I'm glad that we're going to get him again as far as streetwise. All right, so I know a lot of people didn't like the combined form of Menasor, and it was because they're like, well, everything is kind of compacted here because you can see that this person, what they did is they brought these legs down, and it makes his legs longer. I guess maybe some. With this idea, maybe a third-party company can come in here and kind of do something to kind of fill this up throughout here, and that would make this look, a lot better. But I do, as far as stance, I like this better than these legs like flaring out like way out here and coming down.
Yeah, that's typical Road Caesar from Victory. He's got the bursting hips.
Yes, that was basically the thing that people hated about the combined form of this Minosaur. So I mean, even looking at that, we'll see what happens with the third-party add-on, but if you guys do get this guy, and we're wanting a better way to display them, maybe try this out. I'm sure that people are, once they get them all in hand, they're gonna start messing with it and figure out a better way.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right, getting into the stock photos of the Protectobots, or at least the deluxe ones. Again, we get this mold again, and I think they did a really good job. I can see there's some nice little added detail throughout here. Police in this little front grill.
Yeah, I do like that. I just love the fact that these are characters we haven't, got in the Chug line as far as a team. I mean, we've got certain characters here and there, but as a team for a combiner, awesome. I mean, look at that head sculpt. Fantastic.
Yeah, and I like this a whole lot better than what they did, like, not even a few months ago, to where they came out with that Generations, Inferno mode, or, they did a hotspot, they did a grapple, and they did Inferno out of it, but they came out with that mold, and then they came out with, like, a little groove, and then they came out with, I forget which helicopter it was, but they were all random sizes, and they were like, here's the Protectobots. They charged quite a bit of money for them, and they didn't combine or anything like that. So this is perfect. I love this.
Yeah. There's Rook.
Yeah, so it's a SWAT thing for the Protectobots, huh? He's got police back there too.
Oh, nice little APC unit or something. I don't know, but not too bad. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure we can ask our buddy Trent. Is Rook on the team or something? I'm just old school G1. I had no idea that I didn't know if Rook is a Protectobot or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, other people in here, you look at who the heck is this? So,
I think he's got a football helmet.
That's what it looks like. It looks like he's got a football mask here.
He's a Gridiron member of the team. Oh, Captain Gridiron. There we go. There, Collectors Club. Paint that over as Captain Gridiron.
And we were right on this one. This is just a heavy retool of Off-Road from the Stunticons. And I think this works. That definitely works, and it kind of modernizes it, to where I think the younger people, to where the younger kids, they probably wouldn't be too thrilled about getting a van.
Come on, a Toyota van's awesome.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know about these younger kids. If they'd be too thrilled about it.
Man, look at that. That is Red Alert. Not Red Alert, excuse me. First Aid. I love the fact that he has an axe. It's so cool.
He doesn't want to fight.
I don't want to fight, but I'm going to make sure you're going to hurt.
He freaking quits. He quits the Autobots and everything to go hang out in the junkyard and makes Defensor fight, fight Minosaur with one arm. Oh, while he's trying to save everybody and fight Minosaur. I mean, dude, that was great. And obviously, we knew this was going to come.
Yeah.
Here you got Blades with his rescue chopper with his missiles mounted onto the sides, but okay. I mean, it works.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, Blades did have those two guns in the G1 mold attached to him on the back end and such, but it's not too bad. I like it better than having it be used for, let's say, Vortex. I'd rather have Vortex have a completely new mold.
Now, I did see some Digibash stuff for Vortex, and what they basically did is, because these two sides right here and this front, what they did is they just changed this up to give it a more vortex front. The rest of this kind of stays the same, and like change the back tail section right there. And that's all they really had to do, and it actually looked pretty nice. So.
Okay.
And those are simple fixes, so I do believe that this will probably be a vortex, just because you just mainly have to replace 4 parts right there, and then the 5th part right there. All these things, they pop off as well, so it'll be a simple fix, and no one's going to be complaining about missiles on the side of vortex. So.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they could remold that arm, and instead of having the missiles there, maybe have it as, like, I don't know, a minigun or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, that looks good. Protective bots look really good. Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, Hotspot, man. This guy looks great. This was actually done by a Takara designer. So.
We're getting the face plate, or the mouth plate there, which is nice.
I mean, this is definitely a hotspot. So, I think that they're nailing these exactly what we saw in the G1 cartoon. They're like kind of, coming to life in this Combiner Wars, and that's what I really do like about them.
Yeah, they're nice updated versions of those G1 characters.
This is a little bit different, but I mean, it's whatever, and you want to kind of modernize it, I guess. But dude, that looks so good, him in robot mode, that I wouldn't mind buying a second one just so I can, put him off to the side like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good I think this hotspot looks. This is probably one of the better looking Transformers that I've seen this year.
I'm hoping that, I'm sure they're going to take that mold and use it for Onslaught, but
Yes.
It would be kind of cool if they could replace the ladder and maybe do something else with it on the back end, and we get a pyro out of it. That would be cool.
I've also seen some people that are kind of doing Digibash stuff to where they were making Fire Convoy out of this.
Okay, yeah.
You kind of see that?
Yeah.
You guys want a Fire Convoy?
Fire Convoy, or I'd take Defensor from the 3H. Supposedly is coming out in 2004. That would be nice too.
Gosh, you're still hanging on to that one, huh?
I am. Gosh. Yeah, I am. I like the Matrix mirrors and all that type of stuff. Wow, that looks good. You get a better shot of his face there.
Yeah. I'm just going to get rid of Groove here. Yeah.
I do like the fact that, like, one arm, it's Scramble City, so you can, rearrange them however you want, but you got one arm that's Rook, which is a big, boxy kind of arm, like he's been working out on one side, and then you got Blades on the other side, which is a little bit,
Here's what I plan on doing, is I'm going to keep Blades over here, but I'm going to put Streetwise over here. That way, my 2 thick guys, they're down here, because here's the thing. He's going to be thick regardless. But Streetwise, he looks like, he's thick there, but whenever you attach him here, it's going to be narrow like this Blades is. And, the center, this is going to be about, pretty much the same, but at least I'm not going to have this little extra on here. So he'll look a little bit more symmetrical.
Okay.
And, that's one of the things that I'm going to do. You're
not going with the original G1 look where Blades' first aid are the arms and...
No, just because, with these, I think that, I want to use, not really necessarily my creativity, but, I think it looks more symmetrical. I think it looks better, and, that's what I basically want on my shelf. What looks the best, as far as me combining them the correct way. And, I'm going to do the same thing with Minosaur. I'm going to do the same thing with Superion and all the rest of them. I'm not really going to pay attention to, well, this guy goes here,
Yeah. It looks like he's got pajama pants on. A little bit of hammer time. I don't know. Got that small waist, but then just balloons out from that.
Yeah, right there.
Can't touch this. That's all I want him to start doing.
Can we not push those legs in? I wonder if those push in. And again, there's going to be a third-party company probably come through and just make something to, kind of fill those gaps.
Hmm.
We do need that because yeah, that is a little strange. It's huge up here and then just real small and then goes thick all over again.
Oh.
All right, so getting a kind of a better look at Cyclonus here. One of the things with him is in his combined form. We mentioned this last week, just like Silverbolt, because this is a heavy retool of Silverbolt. You're going to be able to pull out the chest here and reveal a Galvatron head, and the combined form is going to be called Galvatronus, and you put a long O on. But what do you think, man?
I like it. Um, the only thing I don't like is the fact that is this the only Galvatron we're getting? So I have to buy two Cyclonus to kind of have them displayed next to each other because that's going to suck. But I do like it. I mean, it makes sense to use the Silverbolt mold for Cyclonus. Um, but again, I still like to reveal the shield Cyclonus, but I do like this. I mean, if the paint, if that's exactly what we're getting out of the box, the paint apps and all that, it looks really nice. I still want to see that Galvatron head though.
Yeah, I do too. The I would hope that we'd get a Galvatron. And even Scorch and sweeps and stuff like that. I mean, come on, army builder right there. So, we saw how popular the Viacons were, in Transformers Prime. You come out with sweeps, I mean, and they look very close to what we got, in G1. You might do with that. I would say give us a new mold, and why not? Whenever people are not going to buy just one.
Oh yeah.
They're probably at least going to buy 3. I think that's kind of what most people do. They'd have their Scourge, and then they would have their 2 sweeps at least.
Or maybe 3, and that's how we get Galvatronus. They could be combiner parts. Because really, are you going to attach the Stunticons or whoever else that Decepticon onto Galvatronus? I mean, it makes sense if they're going to go that way. If they're going to give us a Scourge, the sweeps, maybe some other random character. That would be awesome. And then hopefully, which I doubt, they need to give us a Junkion, a combiner Junkion team. That would be cool.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
I'd buy it.
I just think that they need to come out with the sweeps, and how they want to sell us, because that's kind of the reason why they come out with all these retools, and some of them are really good. Like this is one's really good, and if they come out with a onslaught for hotspot, which we know they will, that's going to look really good. You can already kind of see it in that figure. That's why they kind of made them that way, is because it could be serviceable for both of them. That's so that we buy multiples of the kind of the same mold. Well, with the sweeps, you wouldn't have to do any type of retooling with that. It would just be majority of us. I'm not saying everyone. The kids won't be, but us, we will be buying multiples of them. So you don't even have to retool it or put a new character's name on it. We're automatically going to be, getting, where you would have to retool one. We're already buying multiples. So I think it's only a good idea to make them.
Well, and Dr. Wu would come in with maybe some different head sculpts so you can differentiate the team.
Oh, yeah.
Such, too. So that would be awesome. All right. Cool. Ultra Magnus.
All right. A couple of things about him. They said that if you take the missile pods and connect them with a few other parts, you can actually form his hammer. So.
Yeah. I can see that.
It looks like. Well,
I don't really care for that feature, but
I'm not going to try to figure it out.
I'm just glad we're getting an Ultra Magnus. Not to say that I'm going to sell my City Commander set, but it's really cool that we're getting a Magnus.
Ooh, I've been wanting to actually sell my City Commander, and now that this come out, I'm like, oh man, I should have done that a long time ago before this was announced. I mean,
Like,
yeah, he looks really good.
yeah,
I like the way that this looks like a face too, with some eyes and nose and stuff. But
yeah.
this was also done by a Takar designer as well. I think it was the same guy that did the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know it was done by a Takar designer. And this little guy, I forgot what his name was.
Phineas,
Ambus.
yeah, Ambus, yeah, the Ultra Magnus essentially.
I know a lot of people were excited about this. They were like, "What's the number one thing that you saw at Toy Fair?" A lot of people named this, and then they were like, "Devastator." So
Yeah,
this is going to be very popular.
I would probably
And
buy two of those actually, and I would try to, even though I have no skill at it, I would probably try to create a Delta Magnus out of one of them.
I'll do a little customizing.
Yeah, I try, but probably fail. But at least it's a cheaper way of going about it.
Don't have any pictures for you guys, and everyone kind of expected this. But they've kind of announced that the Jetfire mold that was made into Thundercracker is now going to be repainted into Starscream.
Really? Never saw that coming. Did not see that.
And if you got those two, why not give you a Skywarp?
Yeah, why not give us a Skywarp opposed to a Masterpiece Skywarp? Thank you very much, Hasbro.
So yeah,
That's
everybody pretty much saw that coming.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I would be curious to see what the leader class Seekers will look like with the leader class Megatron. They look good together. But still, that Jetfire mold's for Jetfire. It looks like Jetfire. It's like taking your G1 Jetfire and repainting it into Starscream and Skywarp, and it just doesn't. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know.
All right, these stock photos of Combaticons, or I'm sorry, Constructicons. Mixmaster.
Oh, so that was the front end of it. Oh, interesting. I've never seen that type of cement truck before.
Someone says it does exist.
That's cool.
And whenever I was reading up, they said that they wanted to kind of modernize it a little bit, but also by doing it this way, they were able to make it be in scale with him. So.
Okay. In scale, so okay. But what about the other construction vehicles?
The other ones are, that was kind of their answer to it, because if they would have made him the way that we kind of know him as is a cement truck, then he would have, if it was scaled right, then he would have been so much smaller than the rest of them. So.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I don't know much about construction vehicles, so.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
Real quick, got quite a few little comments.
Okay.
So Dalton says, woohoo, Susan Blue, awesome guys. Tulala has a question, what happened to the Cybercast website and channel? We kind of discussed that prior. That's like, I don't know, back on like episode 75, 76 or something like that. If you want to take a look at that on the Cybercast. Let's see, we're joined by MP Collector. He says he's watched every week, but this is the first time he's been able to log in and participate.
Oh, sweet, man.
So, cool. Tulala just ordered KISS Players Convoy yesterday. Awesome. Dalton's going to check out Chappie. And so MP Collector says, I guess Transformers Collector Club is not going to be a future sponsor. Yeah, probably not. Let's see what else we got.
I mean, well, even if they wanted to, it wouldn't stop from speaking the truth, So I mean, it's it's an issue that needed to come up. So
MP Collector says, I'm growing, though. He says that my videos have inspired him to start looking at Brave, which is a really good line to get into. Man, I'm going to probably butcher this, but Kordsu? Sorry, I'm not good with names, but he says, my collection started as MP only, but um, let's see, Fans Toys made me add high-quality third-party figures to my collection, which, yeah, they're really good. Dalton's disappointed with Warpath. Tula says, just get the Generations Warpath. Fans Toys is more MP than Takara is from MP Collector. And let's see, any question?
Well, we can save all the questions for toward the end. That way we have something to kind of talk about. But I was going through these, and we only have 4 of the construction vehicles out of the 6 for some reason.
Okay.
But I like the way that they look. Now they did say one thing, that while the final product that you saw at Toy Fair was final, that they're going to tweak the green a little bit to make it more appealing.
More appealing. Okay.
So if that means more accurate or whatever, I'm not sure, but I think the word that they used was more appealing. But let's take a look at these robot modes. Now that we can kind of see how things work, you can kind of see sliding joints here, and we can see that there's knee bend, there's some ball joints here, and the elbows, and like we kind of assumed, and they basically cleared it up that they wanted to make they were made by 2 Takara designers, this Devastator. They wanted to make the perfect like G1 style Devastator, and the first thing on the board is we want to make an awesome Devastator. Second thing is let's try to get the individual robots accurate as possible. So while you might suffer somewhere, on one of these individual bots, it was so that the overall Devastator could be superior. And he's going to have, they said, heavy ratchets or heavy, joints. I forget if they were ratchets, but heavy joints in the hips. So they're going to be super strong. And he's also going to have ankle tilt as well. And they're like, you're welcome. So
You're welcome. Okay. Yeah,
that's always like a selling point for me. Is like, man, I love the ankle tilt, just because I hate when you try to, put them in a stance and spread the legs apart, and then they're like setting on the angles of their inner foot.
Yeah. As long as they can do the super kick, I'm sold. So that's my selling point for me. But
like this guy, his elbow being basically at his wrist.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, they look good. I mean, majority of us are probably going to be displaying it as, Devastator. Now, Long Haul there looks a little squatty, a little sumo-ish. But...
Primal.
What the hell? Jeez.
He's the selfish of the group.
Gosh.
Their boy. But yeah, he's the same thing with the Make Toys Green Giant, where he was kind of the the bigger dude like that as well. So.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't like those elbows.
No, they don't, and I don't like the fact that his crane doesn't extend. I don't know, just.
Yeah, so you can kind of see that's all one molded piece right there.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is you got to keep that in mind, that the number one objective is to give you like kind of the perfect mode G1 style Devastator, and if you're gonna have to suffer a little bit here, then that's what's got to happen. I think that they could have done something though to make that better, unless that comes into play somehow with the Devastator mode, but
yeah, I don't know.
So unfortunate. And do his elbow? I don't even think his elbows bend.
No, it doesn't look like it.
You know what? Because that he's going to be the right foot. It looks like the fists just flip in here, and to make this just a flat surface here, because this is going to be kind of the back heel spur. And if it was going to be able to bend, then whenever you try to put him into some type of pose, then if the elbow was able to bend, then it's probably going to be bending, and then your Devastator comes toppling down. So I can almost assure you that that's probably why they did that and didn't give you an elbow there. Are you satisfied with that decision? You'd rather make sure Devastator is going to be able to, pose correctly and not be falling down all the time, and take the elbows away, or risk it, and give me elbows.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, it looks G1. I still, it's all about the Devastator look. The one concern I have is, we kind of pointed out on the Aftercast last week, is just Scavenger's, when he's transformed into his arm, looks a little spindly compared to the other side with Bone Crusher. But I really do like their head sculpts. Each one of them really have nicely done heads.
Those are straight out of the cartoon. That was not too bad. And this is, the reason that you're buying it, more than likely.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have the arms done correctly on this one. I'm just going to show you one quick picture. Remember whenever we looked at this? This is what we were looking at Toy Fair. They had the arms to where they could bend in or out like this. They actually needed to turn that another quarter turn, and where this open section here is actually in the back, like you see here.
Yeah, looks a lot better. Even though we know it's hollow, but still it looks.
You're not going to be displaying this thing facing the wall, unless he's in trouble. But that looks nice.
Getting a pat down or something. I don't know. I mean, unless Metroplex is the only the tallest one to give him a pat down. So.
All right, and just kind of give you a few looks here. Like I said, they're gonna tweak a little bit with the green, but overall, with all this paint, all the black that you see, here and here, the Decepticon logo, the silver and red there, the silver and purple paint, all this everywhere. This is final, and you can kind of see as far as size. The G1 Devastator.
Yeah, that's nice. I'll pick it up. The artwork looks great. I do like that.
Yeah, that looks really good. All right, and this is something that is officially licensed. Metal Earth. Gonna have these little kits to where you can build these G1 figures.
That's cool.
So it looks like Optimus Prime, a very, very large Bumblebee, Soundwave, and Megatron. All right, and getting into the Masterpiece stuff, some really good news for Hasbro. If you guys were always wanting that Masterpiece MP11 Starscream, but we're like, man, $200 is just a little too much. I want a Hasbro version so that I can get one for whatever it goes for, $75 or is it $80 now? I forget. But about that $75 range, you are going to be able to get that. They are coming out with him. It's probably going to be a Toys R Us. It's going to be a Toys R Us exclusive. Now, one thing that I'm going to tell you guys in the very beginning is, if you see this, have your money set aside and ready for it if you plan on picking this up, just because he is going to sell out like crazy. This thing is going to be scalped to death. It's going to be hard to find. And if you find one, pick it up. If got a friend that needs one, maybe pick one up for them too, because otherwise you're not, you won't see it again. This is going to be one of those things that I hope that they come out more with these than they do like Acid Storm and Sunstorm, because it's a main character here.
Yeah.
And this is going to sell really well. It's going to be like if you came out with MP10 again, or Grimlock or something like that to Toys R Us for a Hasbro version for cheaper. This is something that it's just going to be. I already see it scalped so much.
Yeah, definitely. I'll probably end up maybe picking it up, possibly, just for the fact that most likely it's going to have a stand, which the original MP11 didn't, and it's probably not going to have the coronation.
Probably not.
Stuff. So that's fine with me. I don't care about that. I'm just hoping that it's going to be painted a little differently, maybe a different paint on the head sculpt. But we'll see.
I plan on picking it up, and we'll see what happens. I might do something too, a little something special. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into details on that yet, but we'll see.
That'll be my third Masterpiece Starscream done. Like, I don't know. It works.
All right, and some more Masterpiece news. Kind of get our first magazine scan of tracks. Now, they don't have the pictures of them, but we already had that confirmation a while back that you're going to get the blasters, like a boombox, so basically blaster, and also a human figure as well. So we just, we assume that that's going to be Raul. Yeah.
It better be Raul.
I know. Who else? Who else would he come with?
Yeah.
And I've got my cardboard. It's ready. Dude, what do you think about this? Now, one thing that I want to point out real quick first is, before people are like, man, that waist is skinny, it looks like it's rotated here, and the angle that it's taken at, it's almost dead on. So it makes his waist look like it's skinnier than it actually is. So that's something that I don't know how well it's showing up for you guys, but I want to make sure that I pointed that out. The other thing, it looks like it's going to have the same gimmick as Bumblebee did, where you can flip this chest and make an Autobot logo reveal.
Cool.
Jaim, what do you think, man?
I like it. I'm really, I like tracks. I love the G1. I love the fact that it's a Corvette Stingray. Can't wait to see, it actually in color and, more of the transformation. It looks like it's most likely going to have that, jet mode, which is going to be cool. I'm kind of curious to see if they're going to do exactly what they did with like Bumblebee. He's got a different, face that you can put on him, so you can have the more cartoon look, or you can have the actual
toy
look.
Yeah, so you got the faceplate and then the regular face.
Yeah. But I definitely want this repainted as Road Rage. That would be cool. I like it. I really do like it. It's a really fantastic next car to come down the road. Even though this is going to be like after, some people said Star Saber is the best, which rightfully so. But this is going to be a nice, added addition as far as the cars. Going from Bumblebee to, if we ever get exhaust, which I doubt, and the track's really cool.
I'm just waiting for the KO of that exhaust at this point. I want an original, but I mean, if that's the only way I can get it, then that's the way I'm going to get it then.
Yeah.
But with tracks, the thing that I like that they picked on him is, because they were coming out with Star Saber, it's like, who are they going to follow up with? Because it's going to need to be something big, because you've done Bumblebee, a lot of people, kind of like him, don't like him. The main thing was, the price for such a small thing, and people didn't really want to pay for Spike. But you have Ultra Magnus, people wanted that. It's big. And then Star Saber as well, big, and it's got all these extra features. You really couldn't just come out with just like a regular car here. But with tracks, you get, you got to get that flight mode, so it's not just car to robot. You're also going to have that, a little bit more with the figure, to where it's kind of like a triple changer. Not technically, but kind of.
Yeah.
And he's going to come with those little accessories that we want as well. And these are the 3 repaints, or 2 repaints that we actually want. Is we get tracks, we get road rage, and then black tracks as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying all 3 of those.
Assuming we get that. I mean, we still haven't gotten a blue streak, which
I'm buying that
me.
too.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, I couldn't see anyone else. I mean, what, Skids? That would have been bad. I mean,
yeah.
The only other one that would have been great is maybe Hound, just because of the amount of accessories and maybe. But I'm glad it wasn't Ironhide. I'm glad it's Tracks here.
Yeah,
or
Ironhide
Jazz would have been
and
nice.
Ratchet will probably be next. On the head thing, on the face thing, you think that'll probably be an Amazon exclusive type thing?
Most likely. But with Bumblebee, it just became part of it, though, wasn't it? It just became part of the pre-order.
There was one extra faceplate that you got if you want Amazon exclusive.
Okay. Most likely.
All right, and not necessarily Transformer news, but I know someone did. Was it Godbot? I forget which one of you guys it was, but left a comment on a video of mine. It says, have you seen this, new Toynami? What is this thing called? It is the Voltron Ultimate EX. It's going to be 18 inches tall. And it said, are you going to get it? Or what do you think about it? And I was like, I think that Toynami needs to quit, telling me that something's like, this is the best version, get this one, and then later on they come out with another one, this is the best version, get this one, and then it came out 30th anniversary masterpiece Voltron, this is the best one, get it, and I was like, okay, and now they come out with this one, they're like, this one is the ultimate, and I'm like, I really hope it's the ultimate, and like we're done after this. I like getting some Voltron love there, but this one looks better than the Masterpiece that I have. The biggest problem that I have with the Masterpiece version is those little bitty little joints to fit into the body are so small, and then with the die cast, I mean, they just kind of, when you try to pose them, they kind of start falling out. They're just not very strong. Is this going
to be die cast or just ABS plastic?
I don't know anything about die-cast,
okay.
And I would be, to be honest, I'd be totally cool with that, just being plastic.
Mm-hmm. Keep the price down.
That, and I mean, but these are just these rough prototypes here, so you can kind of get a look at it. But I mean, look at that Voltron, man, that's sick. I don't need any electronics. I don't need die-cast. Chrome would be nice.
I want some of the other characters, though. It would be nice, the vehicles and such. But, it's...
Look at those lines.
Individual lines look good.
Yeah.
I already have 3 Voltrons, so I don't have any more room on my shelf.
I think I'm buying another one, so...
I have to probably squeeze them together a little bit more, I guess.
That's what I told them all. I was like, I'm going to get this, but I don't want to hear them, like, 6 months to a year later be like, this one is like the super ultimate special edition, or something like that.
Recast it in die-cast chrome, shiny, so nice.
Yeah, but I like the way these lines look and that him combined and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm buying that. So
a couple of years later, the ultimate, now 28 inches tall, Voltron. Okay, cool.
Oh, it's 28?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay, because I was like,
saying for the
18.
next one. I'm saying for the next one. I mean, we got the Matty Collector that was, 24 or so?
What, is that 24? Okay.
So
yeah, I don't have that one. I didn't jump on it. Man, I don't like dealing with Mattel. Their Matty Collector services. Garbage.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Getting into the third-party stuff, Fans Project, we can see some images of the Volar or something like that, or Volar.
Hmm. Not a big fan of that. I
Me
don't know why.
personally, I'm not really a huge fan of the Fans Project ones as far as these guys go. I much prefer kind of the Planet X stuff, but
Yeah.
I know that some people have said that they do like these. And those three guys. I guess these two, was it Columbio and whatever his name is? Uh,
Kubara.
yeah, those two don't look too bad. I guess it's just Swoop that I'm not a huge fan of. But I still like the Planet X stuff. I saw Charles ended up getting some Planet X stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. You got Kalos finally and Neptune.
All right, got a few super deformed things for you guys. So this one is made by Mastermade, and this is going to be Titan or SD, and you can see that he's going to come with a little bitty Ultra Magnus here, which I think is it's a cute little add-on.
That's cool.
Or I'm sorry, guys, it's a cool add-on.
Very manly.
Yeah, man, he's awesome.
That is nice. So he comes with the city commander.
And you can see you got the little visor here, and pop that sucker. You just got the eyes there.
Shades or no shades. Cool.
Then whenever the haters are on, you got the stunner shades on, and
Yeah. Even those giant size Oakleys.
I believe it's got a couple of different faces here. So you can see the open mouth there, and I mean, look at the articulation. You can kind of see it here in the thumbs. So you got two different joints there in the thumb, two different joints on each individual finger as well. So very articulated hands. You can see some nice joints here. Looks like a pretty nice looking figure. Even the detail in the back, very nice. Looks like light piping.
What's the size of this guy again? You know?
No, not sure on the size. It may be listed on the Facebook page. You guys want ankle tilt? Man, I'm a sucker for it. So,
See, this is
are
where.
those rubber tires? They kind of look it.
Yeah, they do. Instead of the new RID series, which it's too late anyways, but it would be kind of cool to do a Chug. Maybe I'll discuss this on the Aftercast, but a Chug cartoon, but have it super deformed, like they did with Gundams back in the late '90s.
Dude, you could even come out with what is that? Q Transformers, those little bitty
Oh, yeah.
things by Takara, man, and I would watch that. So you got your base mode, and you're also going to have carrier mode or roller mode or whatever you want to call it here. You can see he's got little guns that flip out, stuff like that too.
That's cool.
So I mean, highly detailed. So there's closed and open.
Angry.
Yeah.
Ultra Magnus is dead. What? I'm pissed off at Six Shot.
Some more super deformed stuff for you. This one is Devastator, and this is going to be by TFC Toys. This is going to be their SD Hercules.
TFC Toys is doing super deformed.
Yeah, so.
Right on.
Looks like it's going to have a bit of articulation as well. I love these little guys, man. They're so cool. And before we move on, click off that. You've got a Topping, I believe is how you say that. They're coming out with a super deformed Devastator as well. And so they see that Hasbro Devastator, man. Hey, let's capitalize on this thing, So let's all come out with it. Looking at these two, and you got that one, you got that one. Obviously, this is just kind of a little mock-up stock photo here. But you can see the two different ones out there. All right, SXS. Their blur. Forgot what he was called. Haven't talked about this guy in a while, so.
Yeah. Forgot all about this guy.
And it's kind of a stylized blur, but I think it looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some nice color into it. I like the the break and the different blues here. It's not too bad. I mean, you don't see any hollowness in the back anywhere.
I like how the those jet thrusters for vehicle mode actually are integrated into his robot mode. Give him some like speed or something. I don't know. It looks kind of cool.
It plays to the character. You can definitely see it. Yeah, so I mean that looks really good. I like that. And just looking at the bottom in vehicle mode. It might be something to pick up. I do like it. So. And it looks like his weapons and everything integrate to it. So I mean, you can definitely see the front becomes a shield, just like the G1, the gun that we saw right there. Fits, collapses up here at the front, and you don't see it. It's covered up, so really nice. Looks like KFC's decided that they're going to, come out with these guys. We've heard about these a while back. You got your Fader and Rover, so. Announced these a long time ago, but never had any type of updates, but there you go.
Cool. I'm really on the fence on their, what is it, transistor? Their blaster. Looks really nice. I'm kind of tempted. Just to have that blast, especially with tracks coming out, to have a blaster next to him. Kind of cool.
I still think, I mean, I try to look at the business side of you, and I can't understand why Takara hasn't come out with a blaster yet, because you have the, twin cast, repaint potential. You have all the cassettes. You're going to come out with a couple of 2-packs of the cassettes as well, so there's, money there. I mean, it only makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, looking at some Play With This 2 stuff, you can see Headshots Volume 4. It says these are actually designed by Aaron Archer. Oh, there's the prototype. We already looked at him, but next thing, Play With This 2, Manville Forge Head. It's kind of cool looking.
So I just needed like a Tony Stark working on his head, making some Iron Man armor.
It's very He-Man,
Yeah.
And this being, in 6-inch line, I can definitely see, some of the He-Man collectors, as their line dies, kind of gravitating towards some of this. So. And also from Play With This 2, some headstands. So not just your, just a pole and then put the head on there. They actually have some nice display options here for your heads. Which I think is really cool. I think that, a much better idea than just, here's a little clear pole and you put there on there. This is genius. I like this.
Yeah.
And last thing from Play With This 2, they're going to be doing that Cape 3-pack, and it says real fabric capes, but whenever we talk to Rick, we know that he was like a big fan of Velvet, so
Yeah, crushed velvet.
so that's probably what you're gonna get there. And getting into one of the add-ons. Now we knew Perfect Effect, they're already coming out with feet plates or feet and hands for the Combiner Wars. Now they're also coming out with another set which forms the centerpiece here. So instead of collapsing the chest here, you'll actually leave it out the way it is. This piece will come in here, and then look at that new head. I think that head's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'd rather have a mouth plate on it. But so Perfect Effects go on the Crazy Debbie route.
It appears that way. When you want mouth
Ooh.
plate, there you go.
Oh, all right, sweet.
Look at the gimmick. Yes.
Nice. They should have made the hands of white. Hopefully they're making a set. Because did they just have purple and black?
Is it just purple and black?
I
I'm
thought
sure they'll come out with white. I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably what I'm going to do with this guy is get a couple of those, get this Perfect Effect set, and then get whenever they come out with the white hands and feet, and get those as well. And then I think this will be one awesome looking combiner.
Hmm.
Oh, we'll see. Which will kind of lead into the topic that we have. We only have one topic, so basically, wanted to the rest of the show kind of feed off your questions and stuff like that. So, do we have any comments that we need to clear up, and then we can get into the topic, and then we can get into any of their questions that they have?
Well, where do I start? Let's see. Chevytron 951. That Voltron looks nice, but I wish I've gotten the Mad Toys version though. Dustmite says that looks fantastic. It has my money. MP Collector says there's always room on the shelf. Yeah, there is. Tuala says Super Ultra Final Special Exclusive Collector's Limited Edition coming in 2025 in a Toys R Us far away from you. Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Chevytron 951 says I'd rather get the TFC Dinobots. The Fans Project Dinos looks good though. And they're just kind of talking about some of the names. Cord says if only the SD Metroplex transform, which we did see it transform. Same one. And Dustmite says that blur is a pass. Oh, okay.
Oh, Mr. Third Party.
Yeah.
Hasbro all day and all about the third party. Says blur's a pass, huh?
Yeah.
See, that's one thing. I think that blur, not decided whether I'm going to get them or not. I mean, there's still, it's going to come down to money, just because there's so much Batman stuff, coming out here very, soon and in the future, and Star Wars stuff as well.
Yeah.
The Masterpiece stuff all coming out, and then you also have, I still need to get, the two Fans Toys Dinobots as well. So I mean, there's $400. So it'll probably come down to that. But if I had the money for it, I would probably pick up that SXS order. I think it looks nice.
Yeah. Tuala says KFC, please, in the name of all that is holy, make a Rosanna repaint, which would be kind of cool to have that, especially with the little hearts. That was part of the Kiss Players line.
That's what he said, because he just got some Kiss Player stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kiss Players is the only one that you can get like Sunder for the Autobots, which is the repaint of Laserbeak, and Glit, I think it is, the repainted Ravage, which is a Doctor and stuff like that. But Cord says Transistor is fantastic, but that paint makes me be extra careful with it. Also, Transistor has some fragile-looking shoulder connectors. Okay, maybe I'll just stay away from it.
See, we learn stuff from these guys.
Yeah. Who knows, though? Let's see, MP Collector says, my Toys R Us was selling the Year of the Horse Optimus for $75 one day, and I couldn't say no. Same thing could happen here. I'm not sure. Commenting to what, but
talking about the Starscream.
And then Tula says, question. Oh, you want to pass on questions for now and get into the topic and then do questions later?
Yeah, we'll get into the topic
Okay.
since that was the very last thing that we were talking about was kind of add-ons there. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or topics that you want us to discuss during the show, just make sure that you put in capital letters "question" before you write it out, and as long as the show's going live, we will get to it. So,
Okay.
As far as the topic that we had, do third-party add-ons increase the buying potential of official products like combiners? And basically what I mean by that, because of the add-ons, people that were going to pass on these Combiner War figures, if they were like, no, I'll just stick to the third-party stuff, that because of the add-on, let's say like Perfect Effects there, they have their 2 add-ons, you put that together and you got a really nice-looking Superion, and it's something that it's very G1 looking, and it's something that I would be happy with. I spent a little bit extra money with the add-ons, but it's still, not even half the price as what the TFC, Superion would be with, the Wings of Uranus and all that stuff. So you're talking about $600 then. I think that it might increase, quite a few buyers that were going to pass, but now they're picking it up. I even heard that with Bullform's Lone Wolf, where some people were like, oh, I was going to pass on these guys, but that kind of makes me want to buy. Now I've gone out and I've actually bought Dragstrip, so what do you kind of think about that?
I think it definitely helps. It's just kind of funny that we're coming full circle again, in a way, even though the combiners look absolutely fantastic, opposed to what they used to. I mean, prior we got that, Energon Maximus Superion figure, and, we got the Bruticus Maximus, that we got the Fans Project stuff to make them look better, and because they were just horrible. And we saw the same thing with the Fall of Cybertron Bruticus, where, was it X-Transbots? Oh no, Microblaze Creations are,
yes,
yeah, made that nice, really add-on. And, I think it's nice to have those third parties out there making these things a little bit better, because for what it's worth, the Hasbro things aren't bad. They're cheaper, obviously, than getting a third party. I do like some of the third party stuff, whether it is TFC Toys, whether it's Mastermind Creations or Make Toys. I think that they do a great job, but it is nice to pick up something that cost you, $90 retail, and then to find something that gives you that, maybe it might cost me an extra 50, maybe as much as $100 to make it look that much better. It's nice to save a couple dollars here and there. So it's nice having that option.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of where they started off with, and to even the price of these add-on things, they've actually gone down in price, because if you remember the Crazy Devi stuff, man, that was ridiculous, because I remember when I had my G1 Predaking, and I got the original one, so I didn't want to put all that stuff on my original guy. But I was thinking about buying another one, and then I started like adding up all this Crazy Devi stuff. I'm like, man, that's like a $500 Predaking, when it's all said and done, and now I'm just kind of like, man, I'll just get this Mastermind Creations version, so it just a little bit more, or about the same price, and so that's one of those things to where not add-ons aren't necessarily going to be the best way to go all the time, but that's kind of whenever they were kind of starting out. So I don't think that they're as ridiculous with prices anymore, and now they're kind of coming out with them a lot quicker with the Crazy Devi stuff. I mean, it kind of just strung you along for a while. They stopped, and you thought you had, all right, ultimate version here. Then they came out with a couple of more things, and you're like, when did wow.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's figures that I think that aren't appealing, like the Bruticus Maximus. I have that to where the Fans Project add-on, with its 2 figures that they included with that kind of set that bar like very high, and showed add-on companies like, look, not only can you come out with pieces, but if there's a couple of figures that need to change, then be willing to do that as well. And that kind of set that in motion, and we started seeing more of these full-fledged combiners, which I do like. Like, I love my Make Toys Green Giant. I really love my Mastermind Creations, Feral Rex. There's some other ones that I'll probably pick up, eventually. I've kind of committed to, since Combiner Wars are out, I want to see what Hasbro Takara comes out with, and then I also want to see what the third-party companies are willing to do with them. And not just the first one that comes along, but several of them. That way, then I can kind of pick the ultimate way. And it's kind of the same thing with the Mastermind Creations Predaking. He wasn't the first one to come out. Unique Toys was. And then, Mastermind Creations was like, well, here's our first guy. And then TFC said, we're coming out with one, and they released like 2 figures by the time, Mastermind got to their second one. Theirs took like a long time to put together, but, just kind of sitting back, waiting, you kind of get an idea of, what they're kind of going for and what the designers had in their mind, and it'll help you save some money. You might be like, hey, I like this just as much as the other thing. It's $400 cheaper though. After the add-ons, why not go that route, or 300 or whatever. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. And like you said, we kind of come full circle here that now we're back to add-ons again.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna get rid of any of my third-party combiners because I like them, and I don't think of them as the same. Like, I have the Combiner Wars Superion now, except for Air Raid, obviously. But I have the TFC Toys Uranos figure. I do like them both for what it's worth. And if I can find, an add-on kit that might make it a little bit better, sure, why not? I'll pick it up. I mean, it goes for any add-on kit. You look at the Masterpiece G2 Sideswipe. It's a fantastic figure, but, Dr. Wu's little machete, that whole bandolier thing that you can get makes it a lot better. The Rainmaker set for Springer, awesome. And so it's really cool for the combiners to... You always have that option when you're buying retail stuff. There's going to be a company out there, whether it's Dr. Wu, Perfect Effects, or someone, that's going to give you that more either IDW cartoon accuracy that you want as far as accessory pieces. So I don't have any worry about like looking at, let's say, Defensor, or when we see like maybe the Combaticons or anyone else, that there's going to be someone out there that's going to make it better.
Like even looking at that Defensor where we saw there in the hips, that doesn't bother me because someone's going to take care of that for me. Yeah. Now, if I was someone that was like, no, I want it straight stock, then it was like, all right, well, that's a little bit of an eyesore. But, I would eventually get over it. But I think, a third-party company, they're going to come out with something that's kind of fill that area up, and we'll be good. Yeah. So, you want to move on to the viewers' questions. Again, you guys have anything that you want to ask, just put it in there, put question first, and we'll address it.
Let me see here. Saw one. Chulala said, what do you guys think about KISS players? I personally like them. I like the G1 stuff, some of the other stuff like Rodimus, and they're not too bad. I like the fact that it's kind of weird. I mean, I kind of know about it. It's just for the fact that they get kissed by one of those little. They come with those little girls or something, or in the packaging, and they kiss the robot, and I don't know what happens, but I just like it for the cassettes. That's just me. Don't really have any more on that, but
I think they're cool. They come with, what is it? Like I said, the little girls, little statues or whatever. So yeah, I mean, there are collectors out there that are really into them, and I just haven't picked any up yet. So
we have Chevytron951 saying, would you guys want a chug style barricade from the Transformers film? Which we kind of already got one in a way. I mean, you got the Transformers Prime redecoed Prowl, I believe. That was the Collectors Club exclusive. But as far as, maybe using that Streetwise mold turned into a barricade, I don't know. I'm fine not having one. We probably know your opinion. Yeah, it's a Bayformer.
It's a Bayformer. I don't want that stuff.
So
I see earlier question from Chords. Question: do you think Hasbro will do a Secret Collections 3-pack? Haven't we got those already?
Seeker 3-pack. As
Well, I
far
mean,
as
you had Takara. You came out with like just classics line, but if you're talking G1, then they plan on coming out with those too.
we're getting the cone heads.
Yes, at least the cone heads, and more than likely that's going to follow up with the other three as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Other question. David Lynchine. Are you going with Toy World's Astro Train or DX9's Astro Train? For what reasons and what have you heard?
Was it DX9 and who's the other one I forgot?
Toy World.
I would go with Toy World over those two. Now, I'm not picking up either one of them, but if it was like, they're both free, which one do you want? It would be all day the Toy World version. Even though it's not in the Astro Train colors that you'd want from the the anime or the cartoon, because he's got that white. It's basically like the Takara collection color version where it's white and black, and I think it's got a little bit of purple in there. I can't see it right now, but they'll eventually come out with the gray and purple the way that everybody wants it. So if it's just color that's kind of throwing you off to where you're like, well, I'm going to go DX9 just because they have the colors that I want, Toy World will eventually come out with it. So basically, just buy on what you think looks best. And in my opinion, the Toy World version. Not to say that the DX9 looks horrible. It's just that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'd probably go with the Toy World one too. I like the name better, Devil Star. I can't even pronounce DX9's version, and get kind of tired of these third-party names coming out. But yeah, I'd go with I like the vehicle modes a lot with the Toy World, and once they do come out with that anime or show accurate color, yeah, I'd go with that one if I was gonna pick it up. Let's see, anything else? Let's see any other questions. Anyone, Impossible Pie says, anyone know when MP Tracks is coming out? I think that's, third quarter this year?
Not really sure on the date. I mean, we just saw the magazine scan. There's some places they have it up for pre-order. Give me 1 second,
Yeah, I think they're saying third quarter, like at least Big Bad Toyster did. That's hell of a gap between, let's say, Star Saber.
Gonna be a lot of repaints going on.
Yeah, in between there.
I can't see it right at the moment. So, anything else?
Tulala says Kiss Players was written by a hentai writer. Let that sink in for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
That wouldn't be surprising. I don't know if that's true or not, but it would not surprise me one bit.
Randy Book says MP Starscream is going to be a pain in the butt to pick up. I wonder if keeping my MP3 would be better. Yeah, I mean, I have both versions, and I like the MP3. I think the vehicle mode looks a lot better, and the color a little bit better, but the MP11 mold is nice. It's just, I wish they'd solve that chest locking, or give us a chest locking. But we'll see.
Here's the thing with the MP11 Starscream, and when it's probably going to come out is going to be around San Diego Comic-Con, is what I'm thinking. So they're going to come out with that, and there's also going to be another. There's going to be another announcement of another Masterpiece figure. So they're going to come out with 2 Hasbro Masterpiece figures for Toys R Us exclusives. Now, and we'll announce it on Cybercast, and I'll post it on my Facebook page in case it happens during the week or something like that, and we can't announce it, get the news out to you guys quick enough. But I'll post it on the Facebook page, and we'll talk about it on here. That they usually come out with a date. I know that's how I got Acid Storm. That's how I got Sunstorm, and I got those pretty much, before a lot of people did, and I ordered them both offline. Or on Toys R Us website, is they usually have a date and they're like, look, this is going to go live at whatever, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time or something like that. So whatever that is, I will share that with you guys. I'm not going to be a jerk and be like, all right, got mine. Oh, here's some info. I'll share it with you. So we can all of us be there refreshing it together. But they usually do come out with a date. They have with the past two. Is, hey, this is the date that this is coming out, and it should go live at this time. I think the Acid Storm, I think it was like maybe 20 minutes late from the time that they usually said it was. So I was just sitting there refreshing for 20 minutes. But it's one of those things that you can order online. It goes quick, and I'm talking like in 30 seconds. So you got to add to cart and enter checkout, basically.
Yeah.
Have it ready. Have all your information, like you've already logged in and created an account and everything, because it'll be gone in like 30 seconds. And after that, then it's everybody kind of either you pick one up at San Diego Comic-Con, or you risk trying to find it in store. And especially if you don't have a Toys R Us that is really close to you, that you can kind of go there every time they get a shipment. That's also something that I recommend for you guys. Like I've got several people that I know at my Toys R Us where they keep a lookout on stuff like that for me. They just informed me that they have switched their shipping days to where Wednesday and Friday. So Thursday and Saturday morning, that's when new stuff is out. So I know I only need to show up to Toys R Us twice. I mean, if I show up one day, when I show up Saturday, I don't need to show up on Monday or even Tuesday because they ain't got a truck since then. So.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things that, if you live close, then it kind of works out to your advantage. If you live far away, then, online is probably going to be the best bet. They will go up later as well. They usually just have a small amount of stock in the very beginning.
Yeah. And who's the other one? That's like Blue Streak, isn't it? Or is it Sideswipe or both?
Well, Blue Streak, yeah.
Yeah, Blue Streak. Because I thought we saw at BotCon that they're doing both. Or they announced those two, but no Seeker. So, I mean, it's nice that we're getting Starscream. I think he is going to sell out. I don't know if he's going to sell out as quickly maybe as Thundercracker, just because that was the first time we got a Thundercracker in that mold, and that MP06 or 7 or whatever he was extremely expensive. But yeah, I do see Starscream selling out faster than Sunstorm and Acid Storm. I know that for sure.
Yeah, and those guys went pretty quick. Or not the Sunstorm, but the Acid Storm went in the very beginning. He went pretty quick, and then you could kind of find him online. I don't think that this guy is going to be one of those that you can just like, hey, let me go on Toys R Us. Oh, look, there's the 11 Starscream. And then I think that next year we'll probably see Skywarp.
No Ice Storm? They're not going to completely.
Well, we're gonna see one of those. They're gonna finish that out, but I think they couldn't come out with the Skywarp this year just because Takara, they also had just come out with it recently, and they want to put a little bit more gap in between, I think.
Yeah, or they didn't want to have another Soundwave debacle that they did, where all of a sudden
they caught fire.
That probably would piss off a lot of people if they picked up the Skywarp for $200, and all of a sudden, here you go, you have a Skywarp for Toys R Us. That's only $75.
And it comes with a stand and missiles.
Yep. I think a lot of people would be like, that would suck. That's what I was waiting for. I was like, okay, are they going to announce it? But they didn't, unfortunately. But still, Starscream's a good figure. Definitely worth picking up if you don't have it yet. Let's check. Anything else? Question. I got on the show late. What was your opinion? Excuse me. What was your opinion on Devastator?
Oh, we like them. I mean, like they kind of said it, like we mentioned in the beginning of the show, that their goal and objective was to give you kind of a perfect mode G1 Devastator. And everything after that was kind of like an afterthought. So there's a couple of figures that we look at that certain things had to be sacrificed to make a really good Devastator, and I'm okay with that. I forget what the guy's name is, but who makes the right foot? Anyways, he doesn't have an elbow joint, and the reason they did that, Scrapper, he doesn't have an elbow joint. They're just stiff arms. But the reasoning that I think behind it is because of making them stiff arms, because his arms are supposed to be the back heel spurs to that Devastator. You're going to be able to get a lot more poses, and he's going to be a lot more stable that way. But if you had an elbow joint, then those things are going to be kind of buckling up under, and it would make them harder to pose and stand in his Devastator mode. So there's some things that got sacrificed, but it was to make a kind of what they thought was a perfect mode G1 Devastator. And I think they did a really nice job. I'm satisfied with it. I'm still keeping Make-A-Wish Green Giant because I love that thing, but who says that you can only have one Devastator in your collection? So actually, it'll be my third or fourth. I don't know.
Yeah, Devastator's a combiner that's always around, especially being repainted and all that. And most likely we'll see maybe a San Diego Comic-Con, G2 looking version. Let's see. That up too. Bowman says, is Ice Storm a fan seeker? I know it would complete the Rainmakers. And I would say he's a fan. Fan seeker. It's just, it would be nice to, I guess if Hasbro was going to give us all these Rainmakers, why not finish it off? That would be the one. I mean, if not too familiar with them, I mean, we got the BotCon versions, and we saw some of them in the actual show, and their Cybertronian, vehicle modes and all that. But
I mean, why not? I mean, it's not like Hasbro's against repainting this mold over and over again, so
yep.
Why not give it to us? And I'd be a little upset too if they were just like, we're done now, and it's like I get Thundercracker and Starscream, but no Skywarp, and then I get Sunstorm and Acid Storm, but I don't get Ice Storm. It's like, dude, come on, it just let me complete it. It's like saying, hey, we're coming out with, the Stunnicott, we're coming out with Motormaster, we're coming out with Wild Rider, and Dragship. They start naming 4, and then they never name that 5th. You just kind of assume that 5th one would come, and you're like, dude, where's my 5th? Oh, we're not coming out with him. Oh, crap,
Yeah.
It would be like not having a complete combiner is what I'm getting at, because those guys, they go together. Every time you watch the cartoon, they're together, so.
It would be hilarious if Hasbro decided, yeah, we're not going to give you the Skywarp, we're not going to give you Ice Storm, but we are going to start repainting and retooling that Jetfire mold into all the different Seekers, and you're going to get the cone heads from that leader class Jetfire and all this other type of stuff, and they haven't even touched the Masterpiece line. That would be great. Because we know Hasbro loves to reuse Seeker molds, and we know they love Bruticus. Out of all the combiners out there,
and
Bruticus is their Bumblebee.
There's 3 things Hasbro loves: repainting Seekers, Bruticus, and Bumblebee.
Yep. So most likely we'll get it though. Let's see here. Question, are you okay with Mixmaster being backwards in vehicle mode? Oh, that's actually how he looks, though. That's the design of the actual truck that we kind of saw.
But versus him, the way that he appeared in like G1, yeah, I'm fine with it. That's fine.
Witterquick690 question: do you think that they will do the rest of the Dinobots in Masterpiece or leader size, or just leave it to third party? They're never going to leave it to third party because that's something. Even though they'll deny it, they know for a fact that they're watching the third party companies, and it is weird that we haven't gotten any other Dinobots yet. And I don't know. I mean, I love the MPO8 Grimlock, but I do think that now that they have the size scaled down, starting with the MP10, that Grimlock needs to be a little bit bigger now. Not the same size as Optimus, or is he a little bit shorter? But I don't know. I mean, it would be great if they did.
Oh yeah, he's definitely shorter because he's about head to head with MP10, but he's got Scoria's platform shoes on right now, so that's giving him about an inch.
So yeah, they definitely need to go back and give us those kind of, now that they have that set scale, they need to go back, I think, and redo Grimlock and
Ultra Magnus size.
Yeah, he needs to be bare minimum Ultra Magnus, and it would be great if they decided to go that route, but I don't know. I do see them going the Dinobot route opposed to maybe jumping into like Season 3 full on, just to finish off that Series 1, Series 2 lineup. But I mean, I don't know. The Fans Toys stuff is a nice substitute for now.
It is, because I mean, you get the chrome, you get the die-cast. There's multiple faces, multiple accessories, things that you can change out. You have light-up features as well, so you're getting a lot of things that you got with some of the older figures. With like the MPO8 Grimlock, he had the light-up features. He had some die-cast, and some chrome and stuff like that. But you look at some of the more recent figures that are coming out. You get some die-cast, but the chrominess and as much die-cast as what Fans Toys is kind of putting into their stuff. Fans Toys is just excellent. I love what they're doing. I plan on picking up all those, but it's the same thing with, like I kind of mentioned with the Combiner Wars stuff. Even though I have some of the third-party combiners, and I'm going to buy that Devastator, even though I have a Make Toys Devastator or Green Giant, I do the same thing with Masterpiece Dinobots. Even though I have Fans Toys and I've been buying those, I would still go and buy Takars if they announced they were coming out with theirs tomorrow. So
yeah,
just because I want the official stuff. And while I still think some of the third-party stuff is excellent, some of it may even be better than the official. I still want the official stuff. So, especially when it comes to Masterpiece, I mean, it's just you have to get it. At least me.
Chilala. Now, where is that Masterpiece Armada Convoy that got second place? Yeah, I think that was rigged. But, Chevytron951 says, would you guys like another Punch Counterpunch as its own mold for future Transformers Generations line?
Yes.
Yeah?
I mean, I'm on board with that.
It was a great mold that they used for that, but yeah, I would like to see its own actual mold. David Lynchine says, either one of you have Warbitron Bruticus figures or Computron? I'm a huge G1 fan and gotta say Warbitron stepped up with replacing parts. I don't have it. I do like Warbitron. I like the Bruticus, but I haven't.
Yeah, now that everything is kind of settled down from the Warbitron debacle there at the very beginning of them being a company, I like it. I like it a lot. And I know that there were some figures that they had some QC issues kind of right out the gate with a first like 2 or 3 figures or something like that. But like same thing that he said, I've heard several people say that they've kind of stepped up to the plate and kind of done the same thing that Make Toys or Maki Toys has done, and replace those parts for them. So and same thing with Fans Toys. Let's get it right, and that's something that it shows some customer service on their part, and it kind of saves face as well, because they kind of had while they made very cool looking products, they kind of had a bad name there at the very beginning. Just because of the way that they kind of did businesses, and businesses, throwing them under the bus too. So,
yeah, I mean, their business practice at first was just kind of piss poor communication, and they told us that these things are going to be released really quickly, and that you're going to have your Bruticus like within 3 months. It seemed like. And,
Yeah, 3 months you're gonna have
it didn't.
Bruticus.
And then they switched gears from doing their Stunicons to going right into Computron. And it's just, I mean, it is what it is. It's all about a business, the almighty dollar. But I do like that Bruticus. I mean, it's huge, rightfully so. That's how Bruticus should be. But yeah, for right now, I haven't touched it yet. But maybe I'll buy it down the road, but maybe not. I don't know. Bohman says they need more Decepticon MPs. Totally true. That are not seeker molds, though.
I know, right? I'm looking at the shelf right now, and I'm like, not being a seeker, what do I have? And I'm like, Soundwave, his cassettes, because I got to count each one of those individual just so the number starts to go up. And Black Rodimus Convoy. There's Fans Toys Quakewave, but he's not official, so.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing really, and unless there's stuff down there, no. So.
Yeah, I know, it's just sad. But we're subjected to Takara just for the fact that
they love their good guys.
Yeah, it's all about the good guys. So you'll get 5, 10 good guys to like 1 or 2 bad guys. But that's about it for questions.
Well, that's a nice place to wrap up as well. Almost a 2-hour show. And I had quite a few live viewers as well. So anyways, Jim, you want to let them know about the shows and also that future guest that it may be next week or the week after. I'm not really sure, but it looks like from what she was saying, maybe next week. So.
Sure. Yeah, we have several shows. The Aftercast, which is on my channel, will be airing right after here in another hour at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also have the eBay show, which is once a month. It airs on Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on G1 Extron's channel. And we just aired our latest episode last Thursday, so it's in video form. Go check it out on G1 Extron's channel there. And we do have a couple of guests. Bold Forms is going to be on probably within the next couple weeks, just because of the Chinese New Year. Just trying to get a date set for that. But potentially a guest for next week, Susan Blue, which is really exciting. We met her at BotCon this last year, and if you're not familiar with her, she's done the voice of RC and other numerous characters in 80s cartoons, and even the current voice director, Beast Wars. Fantastic voice actress. And that's it, I believe. We need to get Peter Cullen on the show.
I was like, we get her on, and I was, and is
Gary Chalk, Scott McNeil, David Kay, they're all coming.
I mean, even if you had, let's say you even had them on all for like one show, like if we could have, let's say if this is not happening, but they all came on for like our 100th episode. Do we just like hang it up from there? Because I don't think it gets any better than that.
No, we just drop the mic. We just drop the mic and walk away.
Cybercast is over. 100 episodes. There you go. Yeah. It's kind of like that's how you would do a series finale. So because I wouldn't want to come back the next day and be like, all right, so no guest. Great episode last week. How about those third-party add-ons?
There's no way we could top it. Still with no sponsorship either, having all that, just be like, yeah, all right, well, well.
They don't like us, man. I saw what's this shirt said? They hate us because they ain't us. So, anyways, my name is Josh, also known as G1 Hextron. You can find me G1 Hextron on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and my Facebook page is the G1 Hextron. Everything we've taken a look at today is found and located on that Facebook page. So if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and give my Facebook page a like, follow on Twitter if you want, Instagram, whatever, subscribe to YouTube. And, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. A lot of you guys live viewing, a lot of you guys chatting, so I definitely appreciate it. And you guys coming with your game and questions and stuff every single week. It's something that we want to continue doing every single episode. So if you have any questions that you'd like us to ask Sue whenever she comes on, wait till this is in video form, and once it posts in video form, then you can type it in the comments, and I will make sure that I look back next week whenever we come up to when we have her on and ask her those questions. So if they're appropriate and stuff like that. So
If they're appropriate.
yeah, it was not not gonna ask like stupid questions, but
Yeah,
thanks a lot for watching, guys. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
See ya.